Hello everybody, Megabuild Games here, and welcome to speed build number 21. And this one is a little bit different. I said I'd do it for speed build number 20, but I didn't end up doing it for 20 because of the contest, the foundation contest. But this is a community lot. It fits in quite nicely with university life. In fact, it was built on the campus of Sims University, and it fits in quite nicely with the actual look and aesthetics of the Sims University campus. So yeah, this one is called Darlington Library. Once again, it's a very New England kind of sounding, Oxford kind of, sounding name. And it's a library, in case you hadn't guessed by the name. And yeah, basically I'm really happy with the way this turned out. So yeah, it's just nice to do something and feel so proud of it. It's been a while since I've felt like that about a house or a building, which it is in this case. Right now I'm just doing the boring stuff, working out a car park, because as with all the things in the Sims University campus, they've got car parks, and I do like the car parks a lot. In fact, I'm using them a lot in the world I'm making on Create a World. I don't know, I don't think I had anything else really to say about that. But anyways. Yep, that's pretty much it in terms of this. Car park takes a long time to do actually, and it probably shouldn't. Well, I guess it should. It just probably would have been nicer to cut it out, but there we go. With these speed builds, we like to show you everything, and everything you shall see. There are a few spots in this speed build, I know for sure. Some others that may have already gone up, possibly. Might have some, like, what I'm about to talk about. There are just times when I just pause, and I just don't do anything on the house and it's still recording. A lot of the time these days when I'm building a house, because I play on windowed mode, basically a lot of the time when I'm building a house nowadays, I'm kind of either listening to music, listening to podcasts, or like listening to videos and kind of Skyping at the same time. I know it sounds awful. While I was doing this, I was actually Skyping with Beyond Sims, the owner of Beyond Sims. His name's Dan. Probably, if you ever read the blog, he's Spawn 1 player. Yeah, he's actually a good friend of mine, and yeah, that's who I was talking to. I was talking to him when I did the dorm as well. So yes, that's why I pause every so often. It was probably really irrelevant. Probably sounded a bit boasty as well. Sorry. To be honest, I am really amazed at the amount of people that I've met from just doing YouTube, even for a relatively small channel, which I definitely am. I'm definitely a small channel. I mean, I love you guys to death, but there isn't many of you. But I'm not saying that in a bad way. I made that sound really awful. It's fine. I'm really excited that so many of you have watched my videos and stuff like that and followed them and stuff. Because now I've got 382 subscribers at the point of recording this, and that's just like, wow. I was not even expecting that, especially not as early on in like the YouTube channel's history and stuff, because I'll be honest, I've been on YouTube for less than a year, and I've already got 382 subscribers. I've made some awesome friends, and I've probably got more out of YouTube than I was expecting to. So I'm not in it for subscribers, I don't think. I'm really not. I mean, it's always great, but I've got a lot out of it already, and it doesn't really affect me if I don't get I don't know what I'm on about now. I've got quite a lot of commentary recording to do this evening, and I'm trying to fill up the space because I've got 3 speed builds that I've not done commentaries for, and yeah. So I've got this one, I got number 22, and I got number 23, all sitting on my computer right now as we speak, and they've not got commentaries because I have been lazy with commentaries. And I've been lazy with recording. So speed builds have just been like, yeah, I can do you. You're fine to do because I don't have to talk. But I am finally doing it. So that is good. Right now I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could fit a little maze in there? You know like the hedge mazes that things have. I used to build them all the time on SimCity, because I was just that cool. But yeah, that was what I was trying to do, and these windows don't last long, don't you worry. I kind of kept with the theme that was going on with the rest of the university. That there's a lot of rock, a lot of fancy Gothic, well not Gothic is in Gothic architecture, Gothic literature, not Gothic. Yeah, that kind of style of build. I mean, it's not my strong suit in any way. I think I finally worked out what my strong suit is, because I always find myself the most impressed with my builds when they're the Asian inspired ones. You know, like the Peking Plazas and the Foundation Challenge I did. I mean, yeah, they're probably my favourites to look at. If I were to pick which of those houses I liked the most in terms of like their build and their structure and all that, then yeah, I'd definitely pick those ones, and I think that's where my strong suit lies. Even though they're quite simplistic, like architecturally, like just the way they're formed and the way it all looks when it's together, I think that I'm pretty good at doing that. Not to sound boastful or anything, because I'm nowhere near as good as some people. But yes, as I was saying, the kind of architecture we've got going on, it's kind of like Gothic, as I was saying. I do like what I've done with the place. There are definitely some things exteriorly that I probably could have done better. I couldn't personally pick them out, I don't think. I just think as a whole, the structure of it isn't quite what it could be. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the inside of this because I really worked hard on the interior design, and for once it turned out okay, and I have been getting better at interior design, I promise you. You will see it in my other speed builds that I've been doing. I've been really focusing a lot of my attention on interior design for once, which I don't normally do, so you'll be glad to hear that if you like your interior design. I guess it's the easier thing to change, the interior design, that is. If you were to download anything, it's definitely the easier thing to change. But yeah, I really do like this place. When you see the inside, you may not like it, let's be honest. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion, but I mean, this is the kind of place where if I were at uni, I would love to go and study. Just do all the studying that I have to do to be a uni student. And basically not when I'm partying. Let's be honest. Everybody does. But yes, this is a really nice... It's got like some nice features to it. So I'll get to them when we get to them, but I'll explain it to you more at that point. Now, these loos, they're very posh loos, as you can tell. You find them a lot in older buildings that have been turned into public buildings. especially in the well, I don't know about anywhere else, but we definitely have it in the UK, and they're actually like walled-in toilets, and they're pretty nice, I have to say. I do prefer them sometimes. That's a really weird thing to say, isn't it? I've just realised that. But I like the way they look in older builds. They look a lot better than your shabby little toilet stalls. So yeah. And even this little waiting area and such does look a little bit nicer than what I probably would have left it like plain. I wouldn't be surprised that if I'd left it plain, but I didn't. I stuck in some fancy plants and a nice sofa, make it look really posh. Can't remember what I do next, but mirrors. That's what I do next. You know, it's been so long since I did this. It's been over a week. I think I built it possibly the day after I did, possibly the day after I uploaded the Foundation Challenge video, which was at least a week ago. At least. So that's how long this one's been sitting around. And yeah, it's just been a case of finding time to upload them. Not upload them, record the commentary for them, because uploading is fine. I just schedule one video for every 4 o'clock. I like the way that's working, actually. Instead of having like days of the week where I have certain videos, I now feel like I can film what I want when I want to. And I still end up doing like a fair amount of everything, but I just don't feel like forced to do it. It's okay. It's fine. I got a bit fascinated by that, and if you heard the original audio from that bit, I'm like, oh my god, Dan, it looks like the Starbucks sign, because I was on a Skype call at that time and I was like, oh my god, it looks like the Starbucks sign, which it does. So yeah, this area right here is a little mini classroom area. Basically, well, I don't know quite the idea behind it, or what I was going for, but it was kind of like that one, not the one I'm working on now, but the one before it. It's kind of like a more formal kind of seminar area, perhaps, or just like a place where, say, a lecturer's going over some stuff with a larger group of people, then that's a good place to do it. Whereas these rooms right here, which I love, I end up loving them, they are more like a group of friends literally studying kind of areas. So yeah, I really do like this room. My favourite shot of the entire place is probably my shot of this room. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I had it on the place with plants because otherwise it'd look a bit cold and colourless. I mean, I've got the blue accents everywhere, and they do look really good, in my opinion. But yeah, I try to add a few plants in. I always use the same one, simply because I like the size of it, and I like the colour of it. I know it sounds really stupid because all plants are green, but it's that certain type of green that's just kind of like bold enough, but not so bright as to be annoying. So yes, we're fixing up some curtains for the place now. Always nice to have some curtains. Whether or not I do them throughout the whole building, I'm not sure. Most of it is, I'm fairly sure. This is me having one of my crazy breaks, and you can see my mouse moving all over the place. And it's just a normal cursor rather than a Sims cursor, because I'm probably on the internet. Oh, it's still... no, it's Sims cursor again. So yeah, this little area here, I wanted to do something fancy. I was originally going to stick some plants in or something, or stick a fountain in, perhaps. But yes, this is what I end up doing. I've been using this technique an awful lot, where because that balustrade kind of thing is the size of the height of a foundation wall. and I've been using it as like a decoration, like round foundation level areas, and then topping it with that really short wrought iron kind of one, and I really like the look of it. And it appears on perhaps another build, perhaps later. I can't remember whether it happens in no, it doesn't happen in 22, but it does happen in 23, so you'll see that. And yes, this is my little fountain, fancy fountain. Stuck some rocks in. I wanted them, because you can't do diagonals, which is silly, because you could do that on The Sims 2 when you can't do it anymore. I kind of used the rocks to kind of disguise the fact that there was still some corners there. But then they looked a bit stupid, so I had to go down the level and actually stick some more rocks in. And here is our little mezzanine. I wanted actually to do a bigger mezzanine than that in the end. Well, I do that in the end. I mean, there's way too much space up here right now, and what I do work out soon enough is that it would be more functional as a mezzanine if it was just actually just like that half of the build was just all open. And you'll see in the pictures it looks really nice, and you can look right up to the top from the bottom, and I tried to get a shot of you looking down, but I didn't quite get one that I was happy with, so I kind of went with one that I'd done. And basically the upstairs is slightly more relaxed than perhaps the downstairs with respects to what it looks like in terms of books and stuff. I mean, there's a coffee shop upstairs as well. More reason why I would love to study in this place. Always nice to have a coffee shop. I mean, I have my sixth form, we have like a little cafe, and I literally go in there and study. And I must admit, I don't always study, but I'm always in there when I do not have a lesson. You will find me in there an awful lot, drinking tea or coffee or any other warm drink. Although I'm not a giant fan of their hot chocolate. No, it's mainly tea and coffee, and yeah, having fun. And up here we have a computer room, and here it is. There's this jump. I don't realise that I'm not recording for a while, and I go ahead and continue building. And I just kind of went, meh. I'm not rebuilding it. I like the way it looks. Took me a long time anyway, so even though it looks like this house only took me 3 hours, considering the length of this, I don't remember how long this is. My mouse is frozen. It's about 20 minutes long, possible. We'll soon see. 25 minutes long. Probably would have got to 30 if I'd have left in the bit that you missed. Basically. In other words, that bit there was the computer room. The computers that you could use, and don't actually remember to put in the computers until after I've taken the picture, and then I realised, oh, there's no computers in this. I'll go put some computers in and then take another picture, and that's what I do. And I stuck some books up here. I didn't want too many up here, but it's always nice to have, especially like fictional books are always great to read in a coffee shop, I think. Always nice to have a laptop on your lap in a coffee shop as well. Always fun. Just looking studious whilst you're in a coffee shop is always quite fun. I mean, I'd happily sit in Starbucks on a laptop, basically just editing videos or something, even though it makes me look smarter. With a cup of coffee, which you can get free refills on if you buy filter coffee at Starbucks. Ooh. Bet you didn't know that. Well, you probably did. If I know it, then you guys did. Anyways, back to this, because I have been rambling for God knows how long. Yeah, so I did stick a few books up there. Fictional books are always good in a coffee shop, but maybe some more study-based texts, although you would probably find them in the non-fiction section, which would probably be downstairs, because you'd need a wider expanse of non-fiction books in a library than you would fiction books, especially at a uni library. You probably have lots of course books, like for example, I don't know, the Anatomy of a Frog. I don't know, you'd probably find that in this library. Or perhaps New Right policies from the 1970s. I don't know, I really have no idea what I'm talking about now. I'm basically trying to name some random books that might be found in a library at a university. But basically you have kind of like your basic course books downstairs rather than upstairs, and all that. And I noticed that these pillars looked a bit silly if I just left them, so I stuck them all the way through to the top, and I like the way that looks, but I'm not entirely happy with it, if you know what I mean. You know, there's always that moment where you're like, that looks fine where it is, but I would prefer it to be slightly different. And yes, more plants. I did use a different plant this time because it was a too wide space, so I went with that one instead. Stuck a few paintings up as well. No, there isn't really much on the walls, but that could be quite distracting if you're trying to study. So I chose against it. There is some fancy uni campus stuff. You know, stuff with the emblems and whatever on. That's around the place. There's a lot of rugs with it on, and I think there's a couple banners in the computer room. But yes, I stuck a pond in as well because I love ponds and they're quite serene and good for relaxing. This outside place though, I'm not entirely impressed with it. In fact, I'm not really impressed with it at all. If I would go back, I'd probably find a better use of that space. But I mean, the library we have at school, at sixth form, there is an outside bit with like picnic tables, and I love going out there in the summer because it's not too hot because it's like in the centre of the school. There's like it's hard to explain. It's like there's like a square inside the building with no roof. Well, it's not inside the building. It's hard to explain. It's like having a really completely closed off garden thingy. But yes, there are several of those around the school. The only one we are actually allowed to go in most of the time is the library one though, so the other ones are kind of closed off. We do keep chickens in one of them, I think, because is it agriculture or horticulture? One of them they offer as a GCSE at my school. I guess since we come from that sort of part of the country, we might as well. But anyways, just some basic landscaping. You don't want too much. I felt like too many trees would just overpower this place because it's quite a large building, and I think it likes to be. I say it like it's a real thing. I think that it looks best when you see its scale, because the way that rock buildings look the best is normally when they are really quite tall and such. And here are the pictures, which have been up for about 5 seconds already. As you can see, it's kind of uni-like. It reminds me of some of the stuff in the uni campus. This is the little classroomy kind of thing for those teaching in large groups. And this is my favourite room. This is the little room for like group study. That's another fantastic shot of it. I have to say, my photograph skills on that particular room are okay. And up here you can see the shot up through the mezzanine and up to the coffee shop and stuff, and I really like it. I thought I'd show you the books. Even the bookshelves have the school emblem on, and I didn't realise until I was taking a look at the photos. It's a basic little coffee shop with your cakes in the little stand, and oh, how fun it looks, and I would love to study there. For once, with my build, I feel like I would love to go to this place. and see it. And here's the computer room equipped with some computers. And you probably didn't see the computer room that much last time. And here's the thing, and thank you for watching.